I'm back. Then back. After a victory from week 1, we are now in week 2 against Sheriel Phoenix and her team, the Hellsweeping Heracrosses, if I remember that team name correctly. I don't have the extra sheet right now. No, it is. The Hellsweeping Heracrosses. On screen right now, you're gonna see her team. King Gambit, Cerulege, Sandy Shocks, Screamtail, Staraptor, Orform, Heracross, obviously. Rotomo, Tatsugiri, I made yellow because I like yellow. Glimmet, funny because Glimora has not been drafted at all, only Glimmet. And Trio. Pretty competent team, I'd say. King Gambit, one of the best revenge killers in the meta game. Cerulege is a good setup mon. Sandy Shocks is making a return now. It's one of the few Paradox Pokemon dropped the UU. It's coming back now. A lot of usage seen in the last couple of tournaments, if I heard correctly, because of its really good. It's one of the few special attacking electric types in the meta right now. Screamtail, just look at this: 115, 115, 99, 111. Ignore the speed. It's a good support mon, probably gonna bring dual screen or wish support. That's what Sheriel did last week against, I don't remember what who Sheriel played against, doesn't matter. Staraptor is still doing Staraptor things. Orform is probably the most annoying thing here, passive substitute. It has Shed Tail. It also has a ground immunity. Heracross, really powerful nuke. Again, Rotomo for some pivoting. Tatsugiri also has some pretty good defensive stats of 120. Glimmer just sets up hazard. Trio exists. That's all it does. Overall, Sheriel has, competent team, competent compilation of Pokemon. But one big problem: she has a lot of them require some form of setup, but she doesn't really have the monster available to create that setup for her. Specifically Cerulege. Shut up, Akira. What was I gonna say before my dog interrupted me? Yeah, she has a lot of setup mons. Cerulege really likes setting up. King Gambit doesn't really need to, but Defiant does it for it. I guess Sandy Shocks doesn't set up either. Technically it does, but like, you're not counting this. Staraptor's immediate power is slow. That's the word I was looking for. I was kind of just talking and hoping it would come to me, but Sheriel's team is slow. It is 50, 85, which isn't bad, but doesn't look great. Sandy Shocks is sufficiently fast, but 1-on-1 isn't the world. Can definitely be outsped by Scarfers. Screamtail is fast, but it's not offensive. Staraptor also. But yeah, those three: Sandy Shocks, Screamtail, and Staraptor are the only really fast Pokemon she has. Orform is slow, Heracross is slow, Rotom has to run a Scarf to be fast. Like, Rotom is known for being fast, but only with Scarf. Tatsugiri doesn't have all that outstanding speed stat. Glimmet is slow. Trio is fast, but it's like all it does. So Trio is not really a factor here. This is my team. This is my team here. Let's go one by one. Low kicks is once again back to his low kick shenanigans. Try spam first impression. Though I did put Aerial Ace and Throat Chop on this here now to answer Heracross and Cerulege more effectively. Heracross is probably the biggest problem to this team overall if it can hide by a substitute, because at that point I will have to make negative trades just to get off the field. Garganico is back, is still doing Garganical things. It did, however, put the EVs in the defense, because the special attackers that Sheriel does have, Rotomo, Tatsugiri, and Sandy Shocks, that are difficult to manage. I have dealt with other Pokemon. I'm gonna deal with other Pokemon on my team, and the increased defense makes it easier to neutralize Orform. If I can get his HP to below half, he can't shatter anymore. It's gonna make Heracross harder to punch through this, and most crucially, and the reason I have Terra type fighting, King Gambit is just gonna be sub dead in its tracks by this thing. Which is King Gambit, reverse super King Gambit is what I'm really spooked about. Especially with Sucker Punch. Grimmsnarl, back again, setting up screens. But this time with an actual attacking move. I put Spirit Break on it this time. No real particular reason. It's just, I guess in case I get taunted. That's kind of the consensus here, I guess. There's, yeah, not much else to say. It's sure is Grimmsnarl. Once with special defense investments, I can deal with the special attackers, set up light screen, then go into Garganical from there. Yeah, that's Serena. Assault Vest, Queen Majesty once again also prevents King Gambit from sucker punching. And she takes advantage of the aforementioned slow speed with Trailblaze. Once again, as my only grass stab, I decided to bring that. It worked really well last time, so I figured it might as well again. High jump kick to get. I keep forgetting the name. I want to King Gambit, Bishop Evolution. That one shots from any range. I can't be sucker punched. Facade is here because Rotom-Mow could be running Will-O-Wisp, and at that point, Serena is my main answer to Rotom-Mow. I do have a backup answer, but I would prefer to not have to use that backup answer. I'll get to that. And U-turn to my main momentum, because that's a good thing to do. Oh, I just don't know that I'm still Terra type Fairy. I could. I'm cooking. Wait, if I just want to a Terra type Fire, I can't be burned. Okay, and quick update. A thought process you just were live to see. My gears ticking. I changed Serena. It's now a Fire Terra type with Terra Blast. Still answers King Gambit pretty effectively and Heracross. Can still hard wall Rotom-Mow. Does take neutral damage from electric at that point, but I can now hit back super effectively without having to U-turn out. I did, however, also add Fling here. Fling is going to be the funny move. It's a bit of a risk because I will lose my Assault Vest at that point, but it does somewhere between 50 to 60%. Shut up. To the average Cerulege, which is probably Sheriel's best switch into Serena. And if I'm already Terrestrialized into Fire, yeah. I mean, we're only gonna be able to use Fling once, that's a big issue here, but that much damage should be enough for me to, like, then with Trailblaze get there. I predict, I think, maybe possibly. I mean, there's nothing else really I could run. Sand Headbutt does hit neutrally, but also 90% accuracy. King Gambit is dark. Play Rough is resisted. Low Kick doesn't have. There's not much else that. I guess Acrobatics, but 55 is not great. So I'm going with Fling here. Fling is my play. Hexorus is really good at sweeping through her team. Close Combat, Earthquake, Ironhead. This combination is gonna hit pretty much everything she has super effectively. I didn't even need to invest in the speed, I could just invest in attack. Once again, because of her low speed. Hexorus is my go-to terrestrialized target. Like, I know I just did this whole Serena bit with fire, but Hexorus going into fighting is my main terrestrialized target. That's like what I hopefully could do most. Yeah, this is finally if I have Sanaconda, Coil, Earthquake, Body Press, Rest with Shatskin. That is... Sun Counter is there to basically make Sandy Shock's life as difficult as possible. At the same time, it can also check Rule Edge, King Gambit, Orthworm, Staraptor even to a certain extent. So so that's why Sandaconda is here. Overall, this team does follow a similar strategy it did last week, where I want to punch as hard as possible into her team, into Sheriel's team, and go for positive traits, as in I lose less than she does, and I will eventually out-resource her by just playing wall breakers. Overall, I feel a lot more confident against her than I did against Calling, so hopefully this will go well. One of the problems I mentioned earlier was Heracross being a substitute. That might do way too much damage. She does have a lot of switching opportunities against some of my Pokemon. Some of them I would like to do to my advantage, like Sandaconda, drawing in Earthworm. I have Body Press on Sandaconda because of that. But yeah, other than that, I feel confident. So, depending on how long this recording ends up taking, I might actually cut it into 2 different videos, like separate team building from battle. If not, we see each other in a second.